Hi, I'm Alan Lanham. I'm Dean of Library Services here at Eastern, and it's a pleasure to welcome you to Booth Library. This is more than our second home. Many of us live here, and we're happy that you all are with us, and we're here to open the exhibit for which you have the program in hand, a futuristic look through ancient lenses. This year is the Symposium on Ancient Greece, following last year's Symposium on Ancient Egypt, which I recognize many faces here in the crowd that were with us during that series as well. As you know, part of the mission of certainly Eastern Illinois University and also Booth Library and Library Services is to promote education in the community, and certainly within the students and faculty, staff, administration here at the university. And we try to provide a wide spectrum of activities that will stimulate thinking and discussion, give opportunities for creative expression and discussion, presentations, panels, films, on a particular topic at the same time, because we find many of us don't every day have time to sit down and look at something new that we've wanted to do over and over. And series such as this symposium, because they're programmed to last several weeks, the programming allows you to come as you may to various programs, or choose those that you are most interested in, or do the whole series. Because even last year we had some people in our audience from the community who were with us most every event, which was, I felt we should give them credit after it's all over. You know, this 3 credits in whatever, let them choose what they've learned, what meant most to you about this series. But as we've come to the beginning of our Symposium on Ancient Greece, I would like to recognize several persons who are with us this evening. Dr. and Mrs. Perry are with us. Provost Lord is here. I think most of the Dean's Council are here, and we'll be recognize those. And we also have with us Ioana Ethemiadou, who is the Consul General of Greece in Chicago. And she was telling us over dinner that she represents Greece in the areas for 12 states in the Midwest. So she has many obligations, and so we're happy that you took time out. Perhaps on your way from St. Louis back to Chicago, she's made a stop in Charleston, just as we had hoped, and we had hoped that she would work this into her schedule. So certainly we will be hearing from her. Her remarks will follow the first part of our program here. But our welcome is given by Provost Lord, and I would ask him to come forward at this time.
Thank you, Dean Lanham. It's not typical that I get to give the welcome while the president is sitting here in the front seat. I'm sure, would you like to do the welcome, President? No, sir. Well, on behalf of Eastern, I certainly want to welcome everybody here tonight. And I also want to express special appreciation for all the faculty and staff who are making this symposium possible through presentations, through preparation work, and welcome the students. And certainly I invite all of you who contact students to encourage them to come to this symposium. Library is both a physical as well as sort of an intellectual center for campus. So it is appropriate that the library sponsor many of these symposiums, as it's been doing for years. I'm delighted to see this one yet again. Often we hear a lot in sort of the modern media about events in Greece, financial challenges of epic proportions, which don't seem all that, well, excuse me, in Illinois we have financial challenges of epic proportions too. we won't be focusing on those kinds of events in this symposium, of course. I also wanted to have a special thanks for Professor Wabi, who has, again, provided much of the energy behind organizing the symposium. In fact, he asked me to be one of the presenters, and I sort of looked at it cross-eyed. I'm an economist by training, and I've been to Greece twice in my life. And I remember getting off at the airport, getting on a cab with a taxi driver whose enthusiasm to tell us all about Athens far exceeded his English skills, but they far exceeded my Greek skills, so it was just as well. But we were bumping along on back roads and through all the buildings and so forth, and I sort of knew the Acropolis was somewhere, dropped us off at the hotel, went up several flights, got into the hotel room, opened the window, and that was the picture I saw out of the window. So, Professor Wabi, I've now told everybody all I know about Greece. Fortunately, we have the Council General with us tonight to share a good deal more useful information, as well as the many faculty who will be participating in the symposium. So with that, again, thank you very much, and look forward to our speaker tonight. Alan?
Thank you, Dr. Lord. I would ask that Dr. Izadi, Dean of the Lumpkin College of Business and Applied Sciences, and Dr. Amy Rosenstein, the chair of the Booth Library Advisory Board, join me here. Dr. Rosenstein teaches in the College of Education and Professional Studies. We would like to recognize speakers, curators, and friends of this symposium. Before we start to do that, it is lovely to see so many people in the standing galleries, but we have at least 15 beautiful seats here that would be really nice if you would sit there. So feel free to come forward now or at any time. So we will begin with the, Dr. Lord, also would you please join us? We would like to recognize to begin with, the speakers and the presenters for the symposium. And for those of you taking notes, you can make a little check mark of I've got to go hear what they have to say, and I want to go hear what they have to say. Beginning, and I think most of the people that we will call are here with us tonight. Gustavo Albier from the Secondary Education. I don't think he's here. Gary Ellsworth from the Philosophy Department is here. Alan Baharlu, the retired chair of Geology and Geography. David Bell from Library Services, who is also a curator, but he is leading our film series. Professor David Boggs from the College of Business. Mr. Andrew Brashear, a graduate student in technology. Todd Bruns, reference and instructional depository librarian, and he is also a curator. Ginny Chi, professor of art. You'll notice in your program there, I think, 4 of Ginny Chi's paintings that are reproduced in the program. We thank you very much for gracing our printed brochure. Michael Cornabese, the chair of Geology Geography. Professor Stephen Daniels, the chair of physics. Craig Eckert, who is the chair of sociology and anthropology. see the entire College of Science sitting here to my left. That's wonderful. David Finnegan, a student in the School of Technology. Angela Glaros from Anthropology. Thomas Hawkins from the School of Technology. Professor Olindamolo Idau she's a graduate student in computer technology. Not with us. Pastor Adrian Lamkin from the First Baptist Church in Charleston. Dr. David Linton, Physics and Astronomy. Dr. Janet Marquardt, Art Historian and Distinguished Professor. Ryan McDaniel from Communication Studies. Cheryl Knoll, the Chair of the College of Business. Lee Patterson, History Professor, and also you will see some of his photographs reproduced in our brochure. Andrew Robinson in Communication Studies. Scott Ronspies from Kinesiology and Sports Studies. He will be leading the closing activities of the symposium with a group of students doing music and dance and accompanied by the EIU marching band. So make note. Grant Sterling from the Philosophy Department. Bill Wooten from the School of Business. Christina Yusuf from Family and Consumer Sciences. Those are our speakers, presenters. I would now pass along to the curators of the various exhibits around the library. Ann Brownson, who coordinates our Ballinger Teacher Center here in Booth Library. Kirsten Duffin, a reference librarian and science bibliographer. Dr. Carla Hanselman from the nutrition faculty and the Family Consumer Sciences. Her students have prepared several windows in the Marvin foyer, so please take a look. Robert Hillman, the University Archivist. Sarah Johnson, Reference Librarian. And one of our science librarians. Pamela Ortega from the Reference Faculty and bibliographer for several departments. And Marlene Slough, the head of acquisitions here at Booth Library. Other persons from the Booth Library staff and from CATS include Arlene Brown from administration, one of our student assistants, Matthew Kane, Bev Cruz, the university photographer, Beth Hildebrandt, the co-editor of the brochure. Stacy Knight Davis, head of Library Technology Services. And our thanks go to the staff at the CATS department, and Wesley Smith is here on their behalf. And you're in his camera, by the way. We're so pleased this year to have co-sponsors for the production costs of this seminar, and they include Bonnie Irwin, Dean of College of Arts and Humanities, and she's also a presenter. Diane Jackman, who's Dean of the College of Education and Professional Studies. Our newest dean, Harold Orns, Dean of the College of Sciences. And Chair of the School of Technology, Deborah Woodley. That almost concludes our list of certificates, and thank you for your kind attention to that. The next person to be recognized is the co-guru of the Symposium, and that is Dr. Wafiq Wabi from the School of Technology. And I invite him to come forward. And also, last but not least, in fact very important, our Consul General of Greece in Chicago, Ioana Ethlamiadou. And to introduce our speaker, I would ask Dr. Wabi to come forward.
Well, it's all Greek to me. Today was future yesterday, and will be yesterday tomorrow. And the day that we have been looking for and preparing for is now. So you are witnessing history in the making, and you are part of it. Thank you very much, each and every one of you, particularly the speakers and the curators and the secretaries and everyone who put his effort, his talent, his time to make this thing happen. This is not a work of a person, one person, but it is a wonderful example of when we come together, what we can do. In the words of President Perry, when I met with him for the Ancient Egyptian Symposium last year, he said that we, in his recollection, we have never had an occasion where all this potential, all these gifted people, all the family, to use his word, of Eastern come together, the community. And I want you to see if there is electrical charge in every person, if there is anything like that, physics would tell us. See the charge in this room. Many talents, many people who came together to do something. And if you have never seen a happy man, look at me. I'm really happy. Now, some people would tell you about me that I'm an arm twister. I don't believe them. They would tell you that I put people on the spot. I don't believe them, although I'll do that with President Perry, and I ask him to say something now to out of the spur of the moment. We don't want anything that's prepared, packaged. We want, I mean, he is the man who, I met him first time when he accepted the position here, and I stood in the long queue to say hi, welcome, congratulations for 2 seconds or 3 seconds. And he kindly asked everybody from the university congratulating him, your name. I said, Wafiq Wabi. I said, thank you, congratulations. I leave for a year for my sabbatical. And 3 months of summer, and I come back to the faculty meeting, and he goes around the tables one by one, shaking hands, and he comes to me and says, "How are you, Wafiq? How was your sabbatical?" What would you tell us?
Well, I'm not sure about Greek science. I don't know if they had the concept of spontaneous combustion, which might appear before your very eyes right now. But, I do appreciate the opportunity to just welcome everyone as well, and to mention that my background and Linda's and my background in classical liberal arts education, we learned the importance of Greek philosophy, science, mathematics, its influence on our society today, just as many societies have influenced us. And I think this symposium gives us a great opportunity to understand those influences by sharing among the Eastern community all the experts that we have right here in our own backyard. And I thank all of them for being part of it, and I thank Wafiq for his gentle arm twisting, or as we used to say in the 60s, twist and shout.